it obviously should be up and running now. And my ever famous informant in this division has just informed me that we will be having a wet race, a dry qualifying, from what I can see now, and a wet race, which will be very exciting here. Obviously, I'm not the usual commentator that commentates here. I'm pretty sure that is Yari or Hammers, one of the two, but yeah, very famous in Division 5. Well, actually, not. It's a lie. Anyway, sorry if you hear my PlayStation decide to go on the louder side of things. I do apologise, but I will try to do my best to commentate. And obviously, first out on our lap, we have, I assume, one of the Alpha Tauris put me on board with track map. No, it's not. It's one of the Alpha Romeo. It seems to be long ahead. Hoff going to be the first one to set his lap, as they all throw themselves out a bit late. So, as I actually did review the standings before looking at this race, currently obviously we have leading the championship here, DTR Nailboy, who is still in the pits, and in second place behind him is Racing Ryan? No, Racing Ryan is leading the championship, sorry, and Nailboy is chasing him. I think that's how it is. Oh, sorry, I only had a quick glance at it. Anyway, so we're going to go with Hoff, who's obviously on his lap now. Also, it's going to be treacherously loud. My audio is very loud, so when I'm broadcasting, they'll probably be in high gears. There's a glitch, spectator glitch. We've got yellow flags in section wrong, across the line, yellow flag before a Haas goes on his lap. That's, I don't want to pronounce the Haas. His name, I get it awfully wrong. Down to 36, a lot of curb there, Hoff. Usually unsettles the car into the bridge, but not for him, takes it very slowly. Wide corner there. And that opens DRS to go down into, I think this is turn 14. Good exit. Some people having different setups here, some favour the curbs, some don't. People will be running off the curbs here. People get out of the way, that's what we like to see, impeding on Hoff's lap, and he'll be the first one this at a time. Our benchmark will be a 1:38.903 for Hoff. The next one across the line, I think, if I remember correctly, was one of the Alpha Tauris. Was it not? Cazelle, I think. He was on a lap before he has backed out, I think. I see he's not going full throttle, yes. Then second it will be, I don't know, let's have a look. Goon seems to be on a lap, yes, one of the Red Bulls here. Can he beat Hoff's time? He's crossed the line to say 1:38.8, so marginally faster than Hoff. But we'll have to see what everyone else puts in. And I'm probably going to the pits. A Haas. It'll be a nice cross the line. See on a lap, he is. Mr. Haasman. Don't want to try to pronounce his name, but he will not be on a fast lap as he lets the Williams driver of him by. Yes, Hims will cross the line, and he will set a 1:41.6, putting in P3. The next one across the line will be a Wardy. To set a 1:40.3, and obviously takes pole is our man leading the championship, a 1:38.4, but that's immediately overtaken by Hayward. A 1:38.3, again marginally faster than Ryan, but maybe Ryan can get faster. Another time was just set. Benny Bruno setting a 1:8 38.8. Another time was set. Elliott setting a 141.2. Another car will cross the line, as it will be Skipper. Skipper on the more experienced side of the grid, I would say, as he puts his car P6, a 139.7. Barry Borowski puts his car above Skip, a P6, a 139.2. Good to see him driving in Division 5 today, as we all know, two-time race winner in the Division 6. But unfortunately will be getting removed next season, as we only have 5 divisions. Stick Man set obviously a quite slow lap there. I'm sure he will improve on that. Not trying to miss anyone who's going to cross the line. A McLaren. It's not Jordan, but I think these people will be coming into the pits. Yes, pitting. Mercedes. There's only one Mercedes on the grid today. That's Hayward. A Ferrari. Is another Ferrari on the lap? Well, Mikey is on out lap. Is anyone actually on their lap now that hasn't set a time? No, I think everyone will be going into the pits. I think Jokerman's actually on a lap here. Obviously, I said he was going slow. We'll see where his sector times are. He's 7 seconds down. That's there. Yeah. Anyway, on board with Lil Mikey, as he seems to be the only one at the moment setting a hot lap, so watch him. As we turn off the HUD just to see a Ferrari coming on the streets of Singapore. I would love to actually know the corners, the names of the corners, sorry. But I don't. I just know this is Max Verstappen and George Russell straight on corners. As he takes curb to stabilise the car, coming into the very fast, very slow, but also very fast looking on that camera angle of turn 7. I think that was turn 8, seems to be coming up to turn 9. Does he take a lot of curb here? No, he doesn't. He decides to take off the curb on the inside. Does he take curb? Didn't half, clips a little bit. Just want to stay off the curb on the inside just before the bridge, as that tends to unsettle the car. Perfect apex, I think. There, short shifting up to 4th to the power down. As now he comes down into turns, I think, 13. Almost invalidating there. That white line there is really misleading. It will invalidate if you pass it on the exit of that corner. I'm gonna put it back on so we can see a sector time of 1.5. Oh, was that? Anyway, as he comes on the last few corners, staying away from the wall there, maybe not pushing it as much as he could. As now he's going to come to the penultimate turn, and the final turn, as we got a flag in sector 1, but I think that's just people going slower. He puts himself P7 just behind Bog by around 3/10. Is anyone else on a lap? Half on the lap, he's about to go across the line to the 138. To start a lap, I mean. He will be starting a lap. Yeah. So obviously now he's the only one on the lap setting a time. Takes inside curb there. It's very almost with that inside curb, because if you take it and you get too much power down, then the weight distribution's all off and you start spinning one direction. But I think he nailed it there with just enough power. Getting out of the way successfully was the other Alfa Romeo there for Wardy. The slipstream not too great round here. Probably just a combination of dirty air, as just span a far bit back, so he'll have to be careful from little Mikey's dirty air here. So he takes a lot of curb, different to Mikey, takes a little bit of curb coming onto the bridge, and Mikey gets out of the way, all the way down to gear 1. I'm surprised there. See, but whatever gets him the time. As he's 2.5 tenths up now, can he carry this through to the end of the lap? A lot more cars on their laps, as I think a Red Bull will be the next one. Never mind, I'm lying. Cazelle sets the fastest time in the Aston Martin, 137.9. I did not see that coming. Mostly I didn't even know he was on a lap. I thought Hoff was the only one. Hoff and no Mikey. Anyway, they were out for their second runs now, as we get a whole lap on board with Hoff, and he sits a 1:38.5, putting himself 3 tenths up on his previous time. now attempted in racing Ryan. As to cross the line now will be a man who drives the Red Bull. A149 he doesn't beat, so I think he'll be going again, yes, as he's now using ERS. As he will get good traction out of turn 3. Who is going to cross the line? Cazelle is actually retired, our current provisional poleist, if you will. Man on provisional pole has DNF'd, which leaves that up to anyone really, if they can match his time. And now we go on board with he's down up by 2/10, and he goes P2. I'll prove him by 5/10 actually. No, he's the closest man to deny Cassell. As J. Hayward is moved down to P3. I assume he's on a lap. He is 3/10. Will this be enough to beat Cassell's time? And he takes provisional pole away from Cassell by 200th of a second in the Mercedes. Times looking kind of together between the 139s and 138s, and two drivers dabbling in the 137s. Cazelle, as I didn't mention, the Alpha Tauri P3 a 138.229. Great time from him. Good to see the Alpha Tauri's doing well in Division 5 again. Obviously having a famous championship battle with Alfa Romeo back in season 2, but I don't know if anyone goes that far back. Anyway, I should stop talking about that and get on board with some people. As in Bog, as Bog's going to cross the line to set a faster lap. Yes and no. Oh, he does go faster actually. A 139.005 for him. Of course, he's going to cross the line now. They've gone into the pits. Another Alpine, is it? Is it DTR Nova? No. Is it Skipper? Might be Skipper or Hims. It is Skipper. As he takes a lot of curb there in a very low gear as well. Second, really unsettles the car, but we'll see if he can take time away from his lap. And he does, but moves up to P11 with 3/10 improvement. Now Red Bull coming into the pits, and then an AlphaTauri also coming into the pits, and a Mercedes also coming into the pits. That means leaves a Ferrari next across the line, but really seems to be down by quite a margin as he also decides to pit. Any big movers really? I didn't have time to try to check everyone. People without a lap though at MBB, who's actually retired. I assume so. The start of the session I did not realise. Jordan, who's still in the garage, and the Haas man, who is P18 at the moment, as there's yellow flags in sector 3, I mean, coming across the line as the Ferrari comes into the pits, and a Aston Martin will come across the line. That'll be Benny Buno, who jumps to the P3, 7/10 improvement on his time. He moves up to third, almost beating Cazelle there, his teammate. It puts him a little bit closer to provisional pole. All he needs now is 1/10, and realistically around this track time is to be gained and lost easily, but there's also the wall to worry about. Depends how much you want to gamble your life. I don't think Benny's going to be able to get around and do another lap and get into the pits, so I think that's his qualifying over. Unfortunately for him, won't be able to set another lap, so that's P3 close on our lap. An orchestrated slipstream perhaps by the two McLarens, as Racing Ryan does seem to be on a hot lap, 2/10 up. That's a great organisation slipstream from him and Jordan, if that was men, as he sets the purple sector 1. Obviously the championship fight with Nailboy, who's currently in A5, I expect him to improve as well. If he's on a lap behind him, yes he is. As he misses the curb completely, which I think is the better thing to do, shifting up to third, shifting up to fourth, into fifth, braking almost in the straight line, taking a lot of curb there, almost hitting the one. He's invalidated somewhere. which is really unlucky for him. I think he's going to have to save the RS and go for another lap, obviously, if he's got enough fuel for it. Nellboy is on a lap, obviously, now. So is Hims. Is Hims going to cross the line? Is he up? We'll have a look if he's up now. Oh, he's not. A 120, I mean a 226 for him. As Nellboy now will set the fastest sector 2 of anybody in the lobby, as I think it said he was up by around 2/10. Here he decides to take some of the curb, full throttling it in third. I don't know how he's doing that. Impeccable grip. I really don't know how he can full throttle it in such low gears. Must be a pretty sturdy setup he's got there. As he's now going to cross the line, there's a 138.3 putting up to P6, only a 2/10 improvement. But it does. Oh, obviously that's his last lap. He wouldn't be able to get around again. Hoff's off and about up by 8/10. That'll put him on pole if he can finish this with 8/10. Can he do it? And he crosses the line. He goes P2, just in front of Cazelle. That's 6 thousandths of a second, but not on pole. Cazelle starts his lap, Goon starts his lap. DTR Nellboy is not on a lap racing. Ryan is on a lap, as his lap was invalidated somewhere around here. I don't know how he did so. But he manages to invalidate it. Oh, too far on the right he must have, on the exit of the hairpin, which I find surprising. And Boggs on lap here, he's coming into the penultimate corners as he goes through the chicane. I always find difficult if you rely on the curves too much. As he's only one I-20, I mean oh my god, A240 there. As he's going again, as he prefers to do his one hot lap without ERS to get the tyres all warmed up, and then he goes for another lap. So he'll be the last one to cross the line, last one on the lap. They all slowing down in sector 2. As Rennie is up P13 by a 10th, and Alpha Tauri is in front of all these people. Lots of yellow flags. Hopefully a lot of people being passed here, as that's qualifying over for Jordan, who managed to set a lap at the end. A 136 puts in P10, a 139 puts in P10. As now Gazelle's going to cross the line. Where does this put him? A 137.8. Gazelle takes pole position here. Now Goon's going to come across the line. He's up by 10th. Where can he put his car? Stays P5. Williams comes across the line. Doesn't improve. Really improves to a 138.9. And that seems to be it. I think Jay Hayward is on a lap, but he seems to be up on his time. He's going to have to ace this final sector to get pole. Only needs about a 10th of a second. As I was talking about, Barry Bogorowski up by 5 times, but he's invalidated. He will stay P11. Him on a not on a lap. Here's the last one to cross the line will be Hayward. Here we'll have to see what his time is. Decides to pit. Unfortunate. So Cazelle is your person on pole here for the start of the Singapore Grand Prix, and that really is influential because with a wet race, minimal overtaking, but again lots of safety cars, so I guess you could say it ain't too bad of qualifying. The people not to set a lap were MBB, who was retired before setting a lap, and the Haas man in P18. I would love to know how to say his name, but I don't want to butcher it, so we'll call him Haas man, who is P18 without setting a lap. The top 5 really close, within 2/10 of a second. A couple of thousandths separating P4 and P5. Anyway, let's go through these. So it's Cazelle for the AlphaTauri, a 137.8. It's a good lap. Jay Hayward in P2, Hoff in P3, the Lithuanian in P4, Cazelle for the Aston Martin team, Goon in P5, Benny Buno, the Englishman, in P6. So Jay Hayward's also English. DTR Nellboy, our championship challenger, in P7. The man he's trying to catch behind him in P8. That'll be a good watch off the line. Different man in P9. Willie in P10. Barry Bogowski in P12. Jordan the Scot in 12th. Skipper in 13th. Phil Mikey in 14th. 15th was... I don't know. I will continue this off in the formation lap. I do know Hassman in 18th was 18th, and then 17th was MBB, and then 16th was, I don't know, so 16th and 15th I'll have to check, as Bog was obviously right. I had no doubt. It is pouring it down here, but is it inters or wet? And I think this rain for me does look like wet, full wet condition tyres. As I'm going to take a quick drink. P16 Hims and P15 Wardy, who was once on pole in Division 5 in Season 2. I do remember as he beat me to pole, which was very disappointed about. I don't actually think I was anywhere near. Anyway, we digress, as it's not full wet. Sadly, I don't have a weather forecast, but it looks like inters and a dry line will be forming shortly. Depends how long this light rain will stay with us. So as they go around at a jolly good pace, hopefully nobody's spinning. As I say, but I think Hoff has lost a place on the formation lap. I'll try and get my own stream up real quick. Also, I want to say a huge shout out to Division 2, who's also streaming at the moment, with No Jug, who's also doing the formation lap, but it's in the dry if you want to watch some drivers drive in the dry. But obviously we're here in the wet because we're more exciting than Division 2. Yep. We have the Alpines being spoken to by their mentor Shabby, and Shane saying that Mikey will DNF in turn 1. And a very Hoff's getting a bit too eager down the lineup as we see everyone lining up on the grid. Here's Nell Boy stopping just perfectly, and the championship leader disqualified there. That's Hoff disqualified, Racing Ryan disqualified, Deathman disqualified, Skipper and Hims. And the last man to drive get into his grid slot is the Hassan man, as now we will watch the lights go out for the start of the Singapore Grand Prix in Division 5, and away they go. No safety car, unlike Division 1, and they're getting away almost 4 wide at the back at some places. Down the inside goes Cassell. Cassell actually was already on the inside, wasn't diving anyone. Racing Ryan getting past Nellboy. Nellboy has actually lost places. Racing Ryan all over those curbs. As we try and see who's side by side going into turn 1. Alpha Tauri's going wide. Oh, slipping down the insides, Reliot. Wardy was it on the inside of that corner, and the Hassman has retired already. P1 straight on at turn 4. As now we have Hims diving down the inside of Wardy, but he lets it face. No, that's Skipper, sorry. Anyway, over to the front as we have the 2 championship rivals going out. Oh, no boy, trying to squeeze his way past Benny there, but Benny, I don't think leaving enough spaces. Daveman brakes too hard, though Mikey has made it out of turn 1. MBB has made up a lot of places. This is a bit of a gap forming between Goon and Hoff here as the front forcing to pull away as overtakes are happening at the back of the grid. Jumping to curb was Ree Elliott there. I'm trying to see who's really close to people. 2/10 MBB on... Oh, Ree Elliott as he's just sliding out of that turn. Can't get the traction down. As Skipper seems to be going for a move on Bordy, but can't. Well, Pogorowski's fell up to all the way to the back of the grid. Hope he doesn't have damage. As we'll see, 1 second already pulled from Hayward here. Cassell keeping up pace with him. Hoff just about to drop out of his second. As they all finish the first lap unscathed, except the Hassman, who has DNF off track, luckily, so no safety car. As we have little Mikey pitting at the start of the end of lap 1, sorry. So it's not a turn 1 DNF, it's a lap 1 pit. As Racing Ryan wants to get past the Red Bull here. Can you do so? The grid already split up by quite a lot. MBB seems to have just been dropped by Dopey Man. Does he have damage? Might have damage. It's very difficult to pass this, so if one car does have damage, it does slow up the pack. Car's following so closely here. Immense concentration. Tricky bridge section, almost looking dry, but as we come over the bridge it is still very wet. The tyre marks of a slowly appearing dry line as Skipper misses the corner. Well, didn't miss the corner, just gets goes into it quite fast. You'd think that would minimise his exit, but he's got an amazing exit on Hims. I think a lot of the drivers go into quite a low gear when they're racing in the wet. I wouldn't dare go into gear 3, let alone gear 2 in these conditions. As they the leaders cross the line, say Hayward sets the fastest lap at the end of lap 2. As Bogorov is close on the back of Hims. How good is the drive from him? It's not the best, as he makes the overtake quite easily, or does he? As they're now side by side, Hims gives the position up, and that's 1 place gained from Bog, as I'll change it to positions as a clear victor at the start, 7 positions from MBB, but at the moment he seems to be leading a train of cars as Stokerman drives off into the distance. 2/10 for Racing Ryan on Goon. Hope I wasn't trying to miss an overtaking opportunity. As now Jordan is the closest man to another drive on track. He's 4/10 to Relly. We're going across the bridge 4th. So instead he wins the race in these conditions. Until it goes dry, then it's flat out. Across that bridge you can expect to have mostly almost your foot down in drive. In the wet, it's so slippery. Ooh, is Jordan miscues that turn. Dies there. Takes some curb. As Jay Hayward seems to be ever gaining on Cazal here. Kingle, whatever it is. The Alpha Tauri. The leading Alpha Tauri. Nothing against MBB. He'll be the leading and MBB will be the overtaking Alpha Tauri. Has 2 attempts to bog, as I thought perhaps a move being made. Trying to keep my eyes on who is close so I can see all the overtaking opportunities. Yeah, rest here. ERS battery is widely differing from some as low as 22% in Goon. Half using ERS here as well. He's 1.4 to Cassell, Cassell's 2.4 to Hayward. Maybe some running a wet setup at the front. Maybe these people run a dry setup. Maybe actually, if people are running a dry setup, maybe they think it's gonna stop raining. As little Mikey is spun. No. And a safety car's been deployed for the sheer damage that seems to be on the track. Must have to replace the protect barriers. I think that's a concrete wall. As this will play into the hands of, obviously, Mikey, and I don't know. I'd assume nobody would pit. Definitely not for slicks yet. It still seems to be raining. So we'll have to see. Oh, it's MBB's gone off now into the runoff zone. Managed to save it, but luckily, obviously, he's done it under safety cars to be able to catch up. But that's horrific. A great start. It's just been nullified by perhaps a lock-up or just mistiming of his braking zone. As he will pit for new winters at least, but a new wing. As Burt Mylander picks up, or AI Burt Mylander picks up the safety car. And everyone complaining about the safety car going slowly. If you try and race, if you go to Supercar on F122 and you pick the either Aston Martin safety car or one of the Mercedes safety cars, you will find out how treacherously slow you have to go to get any sort of speed. The world record in one of those cars is a 2:20. So the fact that these cars have 0 downforce and huge top speeds is really just shown off here. It's a huge top speed. It's like 160, 70. Well, these cars can reach 100, 200 miles an hour. Mikey comes out of the pits and has a long way to go if he would like to catch up. Maybe in at the end of the next lap, perhaps, if MBB can catch up to him. As I will keep you updated as E.T. Tonza is leading the Division 2 race. As I say that, he has just lost it and hit a wall and is now into the pit lane, so he's now dropping. Oh, he's not into the pit lane, never mind. He's just lost it very scarily on the hard tyres, and then he really just sends it into the Red Bull of DMT. He's an incredibly quick driver. Anyway, I don't think anyone's pitted. Nope. Nobody thinks slick's obviously the right option. I think it is still raining, so it would have to stop raining, then we'd have to go on a wet track and then to slick. So nowhere near yet. So, trying to go around the outside. In that corner in Division 2, this is really close. I highly suggest watching that with the commentary of No Jug. As should be in the end of this lap. Unfortunately, Mikey, I don't think will catch up to the safety car. Actually, depends. If MBB gets there somewhat before, he should catch up. It should be in this lap. It'll be very close now, and it's not. With MBB slowing right down, I think. It will stay out another lap. Yeah. Gives Mikey more time to catch up, but he doesn't seem to be. I'm gonna do that again if they go around the corner. Get this one, and that one, and that one. Now, he's slowly but surely catching up to the grid. See how quickly I can go through them. Trigger finger. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Anyway, the car will be in this lap. Here as Gazelle leads us as the only man to pit for new tyres is MBB and Little Mikey, as both incurring damage. As their tyres are, sorry, I'm in the wrong one. All on 6-lap old intermediate tyres. I'm pretending to do something else. But, really interesting. We'll do penalties. Anyway, as Kizel can decide to go anytime he wants, and it's now. Oh, a little slippery back end there. This might lead Hayward into P1. Kizel looks like he's really close from behind, and down the inside does go Hayward. Jumps over the curbs. This brings Kizel into the fight. Cassell tries for the switchback. Cassell with the switchback. That's a great move there by him, and Hoff is now losing places to Ryan. I don't think anyone is side by side as Hayward has slipped off. Trying to defend Goon, but it's not working. Benny Bruno is now coming at him thick and fast. And so is everyone else. Oh, he's 3 wide. Oh, and he's hit. They're forcing Hoff to go wide, then completely smothers them on the exit. No boy, now trying to get around Hoff, who was just impeded by Hayward. It's really close to the wall for Hoff. I don't think he's got damage. So that's a very hectic start. A very hectic rolling start as Hayward made a mistake there. I just want to concentrate and get back to positions. I'm sure he can get them back. Track's still looking very wet. Still raining. As we're only 8 laps into the Singapore Grand Prix. Very grueling long race for these drivers. Can take upwards of 50 minutes to 70 minutes. If it is rainy conditions. As Hoff does pit as he has incurred damage, and so does Nailboy. This gives everyone 2 places from, was it Hayward down? Who's the closest? Cassell? Cassell and King Kazingle. The Lithuanian, I think, unless that's Cassell. Might be Cassell who's the Lithuanian. Yes, it's Cassell. It's Cassell chasing down Kingle. I don't even know if that's his name. Anyway, Jordan seems to be very close on the back of Elliott, maybe eyeing up the position, waiting for the Ferrari to slip up. Racing with Ryan's now close to Cassell as well, 5 tenths. Oh, now Skipper's close on the back of Wardy. Oh, 2 tenths to him. I think Bog must have made a mistake there. Him gets very close. Switch up the camera angle. As Cassell sets the fastest lap, as he seems to pull away from Cassell. Kazingle, Cassell, King, Kingle, KZ. I know. And this is a yellow turn, is a straight on from Hoff. That's 2 drivers we've seen now go into the runoff before the second bridge. Well, second really close bridge. Well, you know what I mean. As the drivers spread out quite a bit. Doberman again being that man that oh, Hoff pitting again, very unlucky. Somebody's just butchered my, probably telling me how bad my pronunciation is. Oh, no, it is just shabby. Saying no. I assume in sadness of his Alpine friend being in P16. Shabby must know what it's like to be in P16, as he's there in a lot of races. Definitely not winning races. I couldn't see Shabby ever doing that. as MBB gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Still possible to score good points there if you can get out of the way of the get away from the other drivers, as shown by DRX 15 version 1. As he had a 3-second as MBB hits the wall, 3-second and still came 5th. The wall is close on the back of Jordan. Very hard, you have to have a lot of pace difference, so the driver ahead needs to make a mistake for you to overtake. It's very difficult. Although I think it's a lot of static right now. Hayward has fended off the pressure from Doberman. He seems to be catching Benny, who's close to Goon here. As there's a yellow flag as MBB's round. Just me praising him, telling me he can do something. He spins, unfortunately. No, that's the fastest lap for him. So he just needs to get 6 places back to gain that point. As Benny is still close on Goon, around 6/10. I say close. When I mean close, I mean 4 to 3/10. I don't know, I think we'll stay on board with Benny for a bit. Oh, very close for Benny as he goes deep into that corner. Pulling away from that wall. As him close on Bog here. Don't know what lap I'm going to see an overtake. I would have thought there would have been somebody making mistakes or something to give people places, but I'm very surprised. Obviously I don't want to give it the commentator's curse, but everyone seems to have been quite well behaved and racecraft, and nobody's crashed, nobody's caused a safety car, except obviously I think that little Mikey incident, but we can move past that as he's P14 at the moment. So he has got closer to the back of the grid. There's a second between all the drivers in the top 4 almost. So now we're hitting another fastest lap. I wonder if this ring will stop. You can kind of see a dry line forming around some corners. In some places it does look dry if you get the angle right. Like here it's dryish kinda. I don't know, there's tyre marks. Oh, very wiggly looking Williams going through there. That's Hims. A skipper can pull away from Bulk quite easily there as they looked close breaking into the hairpin. One of, if not the slowest corner in F1 history. I actually think there's obviously the Monaco hairpin that's much slower, but a very slow corner nonetheless. Yeah, I mean Cassell have been leading this race. I mean no, Cassell have been chasing this race. Kingle, was it Cassell and Kingle? Cassell and Kingle, P1, P2, both starting the Ks. Cassell has led from pole to now, which is an achievement in itself. As Boch is close on Skipper, Melboy passes MBB, but obviously MBB is in the pits. I'd love to see a move be made by these two drivers here, Skipper and Barry. Or Bog. He's only 4/10, the closest man to another driver on track. Just have to be patient by this time. See if Skipper skips up anywhere. If that, you know what I mean. They still continue, almost looking dry across the bridge, which is weird. It's Wardy's close to Jordan now, but that drops in that corner. Now Mikey's close on the back of him. As we go on to lap 14. As Hayward pits for new tyres. Yeah, the new intermediate tyres. So we assume, and a new wing. So we assume that this will be a full wet race, as nobody's waiting for the inters to turn to slicks. We'll have to see who jumps next. So where was he in between Deputy Man and Benny Bruno, which is a huge gap by the way, 9 seconds between these two. So we'll have to see if Jaywood undercuts Benny or Goon or Ryan. So now I guess we can put on tyres, because people will be changing 0 laps for Hayward. Don't really know what to talk about here. Who is probably the man that is having the loneliest race? I would still say is Hoff, but oh, purple sector from Hayward there. The man having the loneliest race at the moment is obviously Hoff. 10 seconds behind the closest car, all the way at the back of the grid. He's hoping for another safety car. As Benny Bruno pits, since there's no way of missing overtake, but Benny Bruno pits for a new intermediate. Does Jay Hayward come out in front of Benny? No, because Benny hasn't hit the wall. Benny didn't need to change his wing, so Benny comes out ahead of Hayward. Almost 2 trains, if you will, form. So we have P1 to P4, kinda, and then we have the man in between the 2 Red Bulls. I mean, the Red Bull and the Ferrari, Dopey Man, who is also quite lonely. And then the car leading the train, Elliot, who has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars in his train, and the rest of the drivers spread out. But Benny Bruno should be oh no, MBB is fun again. That takes a new man in last. Isn't Hoff, but obviously Benny pitted, so he'll be looking to undercut Racing Brian when he pits. This Inters can go a long while before starting to drop off. As Goon now pits, and the Ferrari pits, which is Elliot, yeah. As another car pits, skips and him pits. As MBB is retired, that'll be a safety car. Yes, and everyone who's just pitted will have wished they didn't. And the double stack for skips and hims. This is placed into the hands of Cazelle and Racing Brian and Kingle, or AlphaTauri Fast. That's AlphaTauri DNF'd. His teammate causing the safety car. The least he can do is profit. So we have Jordan in 5th, even though he had a turbulent qualifying. He moved from 5th to 10th to 5th. I'll turn on the position when we started. Hayward an obvious loser here, but I think he has pitted, obviously. Pitted quite early and didn't gain many places. So he'll be wishing the safety car didn't happen. Still, we must have to wait for the good to get back together, but Huff is a happy man now, as he'll get a fully pit stop plus being joined back up with the grid. Oh my god, what was that weird noise? I must remember to keep my phone on silent. Anyway, both McLaren's pin, but this is a long distance between them, so it should be fine. Oh my god, the pit crew coming out extremely fast there. As Jordan gets out, he will go into 9th. So they're obviously the people that haven't pitted pit. That's Cazelle and Racing Ryan planted to the front after they had not pitted, I think, which is a... Oh no, they have. Never mind, yes, obviously they're dumb. So now the man with the oldest tyres on track is Huff. But obviously he's going to pit. Yeah, we know that. Focus down to 12th. It's really good for him in 7th, but then I realised I've been pitted. Billy Bruno in 4th is a good race from him. As obviously we've got to wait for the safety car. It should be around next lap, hopefully. Maybe the lap after. I think I'm gonna go get another drink, so I'll leave you on board of the man himself. I should run that, and then we'll go to I shan't be long. We'll keep the telemetry up. Anyway, I'm very, very much sorry. Although I would have been thinking for everyone, but obviously I can't. So, I'll be looking at a spin for one of the. I'm saying that's no Mikey. It's on Mikey 15th. He will just be ignoring that spin, as the safety car will be in this lap. No, it won't be. Hoff still not caught up, so he'll have to well, just catch up. The driver's getting their tyres hopefully nice and warm for the start at next lap. As you can see, I say hope getting very warm. It is very difficult to have hot tyres on the restart due to the limiter in this game, which is a little annoying. You cannot wheel spin to get the rears hot. Very difficult. So, takes great skill if you manage to heat up your tyres enough. As all the cars are now in the train, so we'll be going at the end of this lap. One more lap, as the rain still seems to be coming down a little bit lighter than when we started, but still a dry line forming, but not dry enough for slicks, which is very disappointing. Would have loved to see some racing on slicks. But I mean, maybe Cazelle is happy with his P1 in the rain. Can I have a look at the tyre temperatures? I can, if I get rid of the telemetry. Have a look at the tyre temperatures, and I'll tell you because you probably can't see because of how pixelated it is. So we have the man at front with 67-degree front, and if he would stop turning his wheel, the 59-degree rears and 60. No, they're in the 50s now. Very cold tyres. You're going to be in around the 70s on the inners, maybe 68s. To have nice warm tyres. In the 70s was racing with Ryan. He seems to be doing a good job to keep his tyres warm. I would love to say there has been stuff exciting, and I guess there has been. The start was very exciting, and then it has all been quite null since the safety car. But I'm sure the safety car bringing everyone back together. It'll be good to watch. Casel's been leading for the entire race from pole to now. Jay Hayward made a mistake in the earliest stages, around lap 8. He dropped to P6 where he sat ever since. Quite a big divide between Dopey Man and Jordan, as Dopey Man really has pulled away, and it has been two separate chains, 1st to 6th and 8th down to 16th. I wouldn't know. This is my first time commentating in 5. For all I know, David is a brilliant driver. And away they go. Cassell leads them over the line with a good start. Anyone making mistakes, the cold tyres on the final corner, as it's a pain to get away. Nobody seems to be too close, actually. The closest man on him on Bog, as he's super close into the back of Bog there. As Dylan Majestic avoiding action as him slides into the back of Bog, mistiming his braking zone. As now he'll want to try to get past little Mikey, as it probably will be really difficult to try gaining races. Anyway, as Jordan was within hundreds of passing Dope Man, but he opts out. Hayward hunting down Goon. It's quite a loud camera when you ride on board, but I think it does give the best view when we ride on board. Raining all race, it has been. What's it? No end in sight to this rain. Inters for the entire race. And the preferred wets to inters to dry, like in other divisions, but it's not even like a dry line for me. It's not even that you could move on to slicks at any point. It's just been continuously raining. It's not even that some parts are drier than others. It's all the same wetness around the track. But a dry line, obviously, you can kind of just see it. Benny Bruno is 4/10 away from overtaking Ryan. Ryan probably comfortable sitting third. Obviously, does want more out of this race, being the championship leader. But third in this race, and DTR Noboy not scoring any points for him is a victory. But I'm sure he's not concentrating on that now. He's concentrating on staying in this race, which our race fast has only had 2. Excuse me, sorry. Has only had 2 retirements. 2 retirements, 2 safety cars. Always he goes deep into that corner. As Goon can't punish him. Racing Rhines. It seems really daunting. I think when they go into the braking zone, they get a lot closer, some cars, and then the other car accelerates away. So I'm like, I can look here, skip at 0.3 of a second, and it'll hop back up to like 0.5, see, 0.7 in a matter of no time. 0.8 a second. This is quite disturbing. Oops, sorry for that blip in the top left. Is that close on the AlphaTauri now? See if they can make a move. The top 3 pulling, I want to say away from Benny Bruno and Goon, but they're not. Hayward keeping up with Goon, but Dauphin again not. So he's become the train leader. Jordan's kind of pulled away from Brielliot, and Brielliot again ahead of another train. You can see the cars are following him out of the last chicane. As Nelboy has a 2-second time penalties, as well as Skipper and him getting 2-second time penalties, I'm pretty sure. Yep, all 3 seconds for them. Guess we'll go back out to the front here. To be honest, there's obviously huge gaps in the field here between Brielliot and Dauphin. Within 2-3 laps of the safety car going in, it's already a massive gap in pace. I think it's just the inability to actually be able to pass Brielliot here for these cars. As little Mikey's retired over the bridge and we can't see that, and it brings out another safety car. This time, unless somebody has damage, I don't think anyone would pit. So it should be a quick one, hopefully. Again, brings everyone more close into contention, and we'll see if we can see any more overtakes with that crash. Oh, never mind. Bogging him's pits has probably incurred damage. And 4/10 between Dopey Man and Jordan, but obviously it's a safety car, it doesn't matter. One of those above angles during the safety car. It'd be good if I could go on board the safety car and look backwards, but can't yet. I was very slow with him. Bogorowski might have spun. No damage incurred from what it looks like. He might pit though. Nope, stays out. Sorry for my PlayStation if you can hear it. I don't think it's that loud, but that might just be me having to get used to it. Still not looking like it's getting lighter at all. And I don't think we will go racing this lap. So no, I think Bonk needs to catch soon for us to be able to go racing. I don't think he will. Does it actually? Never mind, we could go. No. We can go, never mind. We'll be going, the start of lap 25 will be the lap. Kingle Kingle in the AlphaTauri, starting safety car restart again for the third time here. Probably going late, I assume. As he goes, very much awake was Cassell. A little wobble there from him. We go backwards. Anyone side by side? No, everyone seems to not really be gaining. I mean, him on Bogorowski, this didn't end well last safety car, but this time it is fine. Who's close? These bunch at the front look really close. Racing Ryan is going for a move. You can see it ahead, and then we switch cameras side by side into turns 4. He goes off track a little bit. They're still fighting, and Ryan just can't get past. But it's good to see some side by side action. Do enjoy it. As Jordan seems to be also close on Dopeman, he wants to move and get out of the train that he always creates. As we seem to be fairly even here with this safety car restart. 6 more laps to go. Jordan, does he get a good run out of the hairpin? I think he did, but not enough to get past. As Dopeman does go deep there. Right on the right, Jordan might be able to get a switchback out of this chicane, depending on how deep Dopeman goes. No, he can't. Patience is key on this track. It just depends if you have it and when the race is going to end, because if it's going to end, you're going to want to kind of be aggressive and you're going to need to make those positions. As Racing Ryan might have another go, as he did. He got a really good exit on turn 4 last time. Can he make it count this time? You can barely see them behind Cassell. He's pulled out 1.6 seconds now. Ryan dumping ERS, but can't get side by side with Cassell into turn 5. So this will be turn 7 actually. Taking a lot of curve there. No, Skipper, no boy. I've missed an overtake. I was doing so well. DTR now boy gets past Skipper there. Congratulations to Nelway there. Obviously puts him a second behind Wardy, but he should be able to close that gap quite easily. One more place, and Nelboy will score points. Any close on Ryan now. Everyone within 1 second of a train not really forming. Dopeman has fell off the back of Hayward again. And talking about falling off, Jordan doesn't seem to be too happy with his pace and does want to get past. Nobody close on Wardy, kinda. As Wardy does go wide here. And now we get a good exit. Can he gets an okay exit? He doesn't seem to gain on Wardy too much through that turn. Pog's trying to get past Hoff here. Oh, look, he's 5 tenths away. Trying to claw back. He might get into P11 if he can stick within 3 seconds of Nellboy, which in turn gets him 3 seconds behind Skipper, which means he gets the places. If he can get past Hoff, that is. We'll have to wait and see. Skipper keeping pace. If somebody hits the wall, it's him. he incurs no damage. Hoff gets a 3-second time penalty. Still struggling to get back on the road. As Hoff now has a 3-second, so Boborowski realistically can keep close. Will be able to get 11th. Hopefully he can. He needs to get past Wardy. So Wardy is in 10th. We'll have to see what happens. If any other drivers get penalties, as they're all on old inters now as we come into the last 2 laps. Still raining. No slicks in sight. Even if it was going to stop raining, I think they'd stay on the intermediate tyre. As Jordan now is rapidly approaching Dopey Man, but he's well out of ERS. It's really behind, has a solid 30% advantage on him. Borowski close as well, as one goes into the runoff I saw first at second. It's Hoff at turn 7. And his Bog is free to chase down Skipper now. As Jordan's still very much not happy with Dopey Man. Trying to get past all his might. Will it happen out of this corner? No. Is the answer. But 3 seconds for Cassell and Kingle. The front 3 really close. With Ryan really close on Cassell here. All on not the best ERS. I say that's a 4-way fight almost. 5-way fight even if. And Skipper DNFs. Will that bring out the safety car this late in the race? I don't think so. It has brought out the safety car. Which means we will have 1 lap of racing to decide the race winner here in Singapore in 2022. Or do we get 2 laps of racing? The safety car has to do 1 lap of the track before going in. Lap cars may not overtake, as there is no lap cars. He just spun, as we saw when we were on board with Hoff, where he crashed. I mean, a good race there. Borowski now into 12th, trying to get past his teammate, hopping on the full wet tyres. Maybe it's the play here, if he can catch up to the grid, but only has realistically a lapish to do so. Who pits? Nobody's gambled to pit. Probably fair. Don't know if Jordan's staying in the left part of the track to cool down the tyres, or he's doing on the right. He's just on the left for the lols. Hayward on 15 lap old tyres now. Should check what if they're getting too cold. 54, 55 degree tyres. It doesn't look too bad. We don't seem to be so much standing water, and that's against safety car regulations. The safety car has to do 1 lap of the track before it can go in. So Michael Massey race directing here. Hoff on the full wet tyres will not be able to catch up to the grid here. His tyres in a quite hot operating range. I don't know if they should be that hot. As here we go, the AlphaTauri of Kingle starts another safety car restart, the 4th of this race, and we have 2 laps of racing to decide the Singapore Grand Prix winner. When will he go? Cars waiting eagerly for him to go. Goes at the same spot. Cassell is always awake. A spin from Hoff on his 2 hot tyres. Racing Ryan close to the back of thingy. And so is Wardy. And nobody thinks about going for the dive, but doesn't. Can Racing Ryan get a better drive out of this corner than Cassell? I don't know. 1/10, there's a yellow flag. Adds off again. 1/10, he's going to make it past. No, he's not. Is he going for it? He tries going around the outside, but he can't. Jordan, who's been stuck behind Doberman for so long, says that Wardley retires from the race into turns 5/4. Turns if you count the kink in the straight as a lap. I mean a corner, oh my god. Racing Ryan, who's a second away from Cassell now. Racing Ryan knows he can't get the win. Cassell has a 3 second, never mind, I forgot to say that. Racing Ryan doesn't have to overtake if he wants P2, but he will want to try catch the AlphaTauri in P1. Everyone's kind of falling away from everyone here. No one's too close. Jay Hayward's close on Goon here, but that's about it. The only man that's trying to chase down another driver is Racing Ryan. Benny is close as well, but I don't think he's going to have enough pace to get past Ryan. Oh, clips the wall there, does Benny. As here we do the finishing off the penultimate lap and going on to the last lap. As who's close, all sliding out of that corner. P9 is for Nellboy now. He will be getting 2 points in this race if he can cross the line. I don't think he's got the fastest lap at the moment. But it's not telling me fastest lap. It doesn't tell me fastest lap. So Nellboy slips on that curb again. Nellboy's still close behind me. Hayward again, just too far away from Goon. Jordan can't get past Safe Man on this long straight. No desperate lunges, which we like to see. We want everyone finishing this race, apart from 5. As Bog will get points here if he can stay within 3 seconds of Nellboy, but I don't think he can. All Hayward slipping and sliding out that corner. Benny Bruno trying to get past Racing Ryan, he can't. Comes into the final sector of the final lap. Who can get past? Cassell's trying to get past King, but I think he's just trying to keep Racing Ryan behind because he knows he's going to drop quite far back with his 3 second, probably back to around maybe even P5, and Hayward will stay behind Cassell. Can anyone make an overtake? Nellboy might just be able to get past Jordan. Tries it. Can't. He's going to have to be into this final turn. Can he get the drive? Just can't. Racing Ryan obviously goes past Cassell. Oh, and Nellboy hits Stingy and doesn't go past because he knows he's hit Jordan, as no one else makes any more overtakes. Hoff comes home in unlucky 13th, and him obviously across the line in 12th. But we're your race winner today, leading from start to finish. Never dropped out of P1, 4 safety car restarts, and driving for 1 hour, 4 minutes and 54 seconds and 7,000 something, you know what I mean, very slow, I mean very long time to be driving for your race winner, the AlphaTauri, which I've already said, of horribly pronounced name, Kazingle, or I assume King the second, wins this race, moving up in the championship. Racing Ryan increasing his lead on DTR. Nellboy finishes 9th. Benny Bruno gets a well-deserved podium for a great race for him. P3. 4th, it was Goon, a good race for him, solid, probably quite lonely. Driver of the day goes to Jordan, which I think is very respectable as he was stuck behind Dopey the entire race. Looked like he had the pace, but just couldn't get past. Great defending from Dopey. As our race winner gets his little animation onto the podium, the 3-step. Benny Bruno's first podium of the season. I don't know if it's Cazelle's first podium of the season, as he lifts the trophy, being the winner of the Singapore Grand Prix. A grueling wet race has come to a close as they all dance, spraying champagne on the podium. As I will continue off where I was talking about, from going to P5 is Cassell. P6 would have been Hayward, who got the fastest lap, so an extra point for him. Dopeman P7, Jordan the Scotsman in 8th. Nellboy, who's going to have a crucial charge in these last 3 races if he wants to beat Racing Ryan to the championship. Barry Bogorowski in 11th, barely missing out on points here in Division 5. Him 12th, good 3rd race for him in the division. Half taken to the escape roads many times. He comes home P13. Wardy, our last retirement, 2 laps from the end, P14. Skipper causing the last drama safety car, P15. Little Mikey, an unlucky start to the race, and end the race to him for P16. And MBB retiring quite early on in the race, P17. And the Hassman, P18 after retiring on the 2nd lap. And that closes out race 10. What is it? That finishes off race 9 at Singapore in Division 5 for the 4th season. Division 9. Division 5, Season 4. That's Singapore race over. I'm getting my words mixed up. Come back next Wednesday to watch Division 5. There's more races tomorrow with Division 6 and 3 racing tomorrow. I will obviously, sadly, not be commentating those. I'll be racing in Division 1 if you want to check that out on Tuesday. Thank you for watching. It's been brilliant. Yes, if you want to compete in a race like this and have me commentate depending on your speed, the link in the description below is to our Discord, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel, DTR Racing. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all perhaps next time I do commentating, which I don't know when that will be. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.